Hello dear friends, I'm Marina from marsstars.net. Today I would like to present you the weekly horoscope for the week of the 8th of April through the 14th. It's gonna be an amazing week because we have so many things happening. Jupiter, the planet of abundance, growth and wisdom, is turning retrograde. We also have a beautiful conjunction between Venus and Neptune. On top of that, the Sun will make a couple of exact major aspects, square with Saturn and Pluto, and also trine with Jupiter. All of that happens this week. So watch the video and you will learn about the most important details and how to prepare for those events. As usual, below the video you will find the timestamps with the exact links for each of the things which we are going to discuss, including prediction for each of the 12 signs and also the daily horoscopes. So you can always come back and check the part that you are interested in. Also, let me remind you that we have recently had the new moon in Aries, basically a couple of days ago on Friday. So the whole week is very active and dynamic because the moon is growing. And since we had this powerful new moon in Aries, it's about dynamics, it's about starting new things, and also it's about expansion. So interesting, exciting, important, but also I would say romantic week. Before I start with the details, let me also remind you that you can enroll in the special course which will take place during May and June about the Bach flower essences and astrology. If you haven't heard about this method, it's an extremely spiritual and very tender method for healing emotional and psychological issues. So if you would like to join us, you are absolutely welcome. It will be an 8-week course and all of the details are below the video. So now let's start with the most interesting stuff during next week. First of all, I would say that the most important is the fact that Jupiter will change its direction. From direct, it will turn retrograde. It happens on Wednesday, the 10th of April. So first of all, let's find out, is it something bad? Is it something that we should be afraid of? Is it problematic? My personal and professional opinion is that Jupiter retrograde is not a problem. Jupiter retrograde is not like having Mercury or Venus or Mars turning retrograde. There is something specific, of course. There are things that we need to consider. And for some things, Jupiter retrograde can actually be more positive. For others, not so much. But overall, this is not a period that you should be trying to avoid new things or expect some challenges or something like that. Jupiter will be retrograde for a couple of months, so this is a long period. And that's why we don't consider it as something like, for example, having Mars retrograde, which happens once in 2 years for 2 months approximately. So we shouldn't be afraid of that transition. On the other hand, we should remember that the exact periods when the planet is changing its direction, basically the stationary phase, can be very specific. And also, this is the time when the energy is extremely intense. And when we talk about Jupiter, it's an intense positive energy. So again, don't expect something problematic. As I said, Jupiter turns retrograde on Wednesday, but on Monday and Tuesday, the planet is basically stationary. And this is a time when you may feel something important shifting for you. You may notice also that you might become more interested about your own personal values, your own personal goals, and not so much about outer achievements, about receiving recognition or even respect from other people. When the planet is retrograde, it's working more on an internal level. So it means that, of course, Jupiter is still related to success and expansion and growth, But when Jupiter is retrograde, this would be a great time actually to focus on becoming a better person, or receiving more knowledge or wisdom, or expanding your worldview. So for a preparation for more knowledge and inspiration which comes from within you, this is actually a great transition. And also during the next couple of months, you might be able to go back and to reassess some of the things that you have previously started or planned. And you may realize that some things need to be changed, or some things are no longer relevant to you. But in both ways, it's really important how you interpret the situation, what's important for you, what type of personal goals do you have. And again, as I said, it's not necessarily about outer achievement, some social results. It's about feeling more successful. It's about feeling like you are growing, like you are doing something meaningful. And we are going to make a prediction for each of the signs, so make sure to listen to your sun and ascendant sign in order to understand basically in which life area you may experience those shifts in terms of your goals or reassessments. But that's the general tendency. And again, as I said, it's not something bad. Jupiter will be stationary also on the 25th degree in Sagittarius. So make sure to check if Jupiter makes any major aspects with your personal planets, or maybe with some cusps of your houses. This will also show you areas of your life which can be very important for you. The other important, or one of the most important events during the week, is the conjunction between Venus and Neptune. And I think that more or less it will create like a general tendency for the whole week, general atmosphere. Venus in conjunction with Neptune, let me check my notes, on the 18th degree in Pisces. Both of those planets are extremely strong in Pisces. Neptune rules this sign, so it's at the right place, it's at the strongest possible position. And Venus is in an exalted position in Pisces, so also one of the strongest possible positions. So the planets are feeling great there. They are kind of friends with each other also, because they are both emotional planets related to feelings, related to creativity and beauty. And this can be an extremely positive combination which can bring you more inspiration, more creativity, also more calmness in your life. If you need to relax in some way, to enjoy things, to feel really inspired, this would be a great week for you. Also, this position or this conjunction can bring more romantic feelings. For some people, this can be a time when they can fall in love. And keep in mind, this type of combination is all about the unconditional love. So these are the feelings which are, you know, kind of a spiritual connection with others, or it's not necessarily related to other people. This could be an unconditional love towards your children, or your project or work, or your spiritual practice. But in one way or another, this aspect can allow you to connect deeper to something or someone in your life. And it can bring you also an incredible healing energy. Neptune is definitely maybe the most important healing planet, I would say. And in this case, we can talk about emotional healing. For some people, this can be time when they can release old trauma, or they may get a deeper understanding about the motivation of other people. We can all become more compassionate, more tender with each other. And generally, it's just about connection with other people. Spiritual, emotional, deep, unconditional connection. So honestly, I'm extremely excited about this aspect. I love Neptune. And I think that it can bring incredible healing energy, inspirational, creative energy. So I'm extremely excited. Now, let's start with our prediction for the 12 signs. So I will make a prediction first of all for Jupiter retrograde and for the conjunction of Venus and Neptune for each of the signs, so that you will be prepared in which life area you may experience all of those important shifts. And after that, we are going to talk about the day-by-day prediction, and I will share also about the interpretation and the impact of the other aspects that we have during the whole week. So let's start with Aries. For you guys, Jupiter will turn retrograde on Wednesday in your 9th house. So the area which is very important is mostly about your goals. Long-term goals, also your knowledge and education, especially when it comes to spiritual education. Also, this is a great time actually to focus on your personal goals, on your personal values and beliefs. If you are not achieving the things that you consciously want in your life, then one of the most common reasons is that you have some kind of limiting beliefs. So Jupiter turning retrograde may allow you actually to get deeper and understand basically what kind of unconscious models do you have, or patterns or limitations basically, and you can work with those things and you may shift them. So focus internally on your goals, plans for the future, maybe even plans for traveling or trips, education, philosophy, and I think maybe the most important, your belief system. This is a great time actually to concentrate more internally, to visualize what you want to achieve in the future. And eventually, at some point, you might really get there. And keep in mind that Jupiter is extremely powerful. Jupiter is in Sagittarius, the sign of its rulership. So it can be extremely rewarding and positive for you, even when it is retrograde. So don't be worried about that. The conjunction between Venus and Neptune, which is exact also on Wednesday, the 10th of April, will be in your 12th house. So this is a very secret position for this conjunction. So most of the energies are working on an internal level for you. Great time when you may find a deeper inner relaxation, inner peace, inner harmony within you. It could be through some kind of spiritual practices, maybe meditations, maybe things which are, not rational, not logical, but they help you to relax. They help you to feel this, guidance which you are receiving, whether you believe in angels or the universe or God. You might really deepen this connection and feel protected and feel loved by, the universe or the invisible power. So overall, very spiritual combination, a very relaxing and also healing combination for you guys. Taurus. For Taurus, Jupiter turns retrograde in your 8th house, which happens on Wednesday. Jupiter retrograde in 8th house can make you reassess more the area of resources or support which you receive from other people, mostly partners and close people. This is a time when you may also dive deeper into some kind of occult stuff like spiritual practices or exploring something which is considered to be secret. It could be just, something related to esoterics, or for some people astrology, or any kind of knowledge which helps you to understand things which are undescribable sometimes with words. From a more practical perspective, this can be a time to reconsider how much support would you like to receive from other people, from your partner or from others in general. Also time to focus on the desire to invest in something or to take some kind of risks. Eighth house is one of the important houses related to taking risks, including financial risks and all kinds of risks. So Jupiter turning retrograde there may also require more attention when it comes to the risks that you would like to take or you are ready to take, and most importantly also to focus on your internal needs, your personal desires when it comes to, you know, this support or this connection with others or all kinds of secret stuff as well. The conjunction between Venus and Neptune for you will fall in your 11th house. This conjunction is also exact on Wednesday, the 10th of April. And this beautiful conjunction can affect positively your communication with other people, your community, or other people who share similar ideas like you, who you feel close on a mental level, on an intellectual level. Now this conjunction may also help you to connect emotionally. This is also a very romantic combination, and you might be extremely inspired in some kind of ideas or something that you want to achieve in the future. And it's very important how you feel, because it's, you know, this conjunction is not about taking action or fighting or competing. None of that. This conjunction is about feeling. This is about feeling inspired and creating the things through your emotions and your desires. So focus on your desires. Visualize the things that you want in the future. Be more romantic. Don't be afraid to share your feelings with others. You may feel also incredible support by others. For example, if you feel lonely or if you feel isolated, then find some people, and you might be surprised how many others are also searching for this support and connection. So Neptune and Venus in your 11th house may really help you to deepen this connection with other people, especially with friends, especially with women. You may feel very empathetic and also compassionate when it comes to your communication with friends or others in general. Gemini. For Gemini, Jupiter turns retrograde in 7th house, which happens on Wednesday, the 10th of April. So the main focus, guys, for you is on relationships and partnerships. And again, as I already said, this isn't a bad indication. So it doesn't mean that you won't be able to have happy relationship or successful partnerships. It means that you need to focus more. What would you like to achieve in this area? What kind of goals do you have? So it's about focusing on the inside, your personal interpretation, and what are your personal goals and desires when it comes to the area of relationships and partnerships. Are there things that you would like to improve or that you would like to change? Also, you may notice that in some way things which has happened during the past couple of months now will repeat, or in some way you will need to reconsider some of them. So going back to the past is actually something positive that we can do while Jupiter is retrograde. And in your case, the main focus is on relationships, partnerships, including business communication with others, for people who work one-on-one or, you know, have personal clients. 7th house also represents that area. So in some way you may find out what type of people would you like to work with, or what type of people you want to be friends with. Is there something which is not in an alignment with your internal reception or desire or vision? So a very interesting period, especially for your closest communication and relationships. The conjunction between Venus and Neptune is also exact on Wednesday, the same day when Jupiter turns retrograde, which is quite interesting actually. And for you guys, it will fall in 10th house, one of the really important houses in the chart. So the main area which is affected by this beautiful conjunction is your career, or your social work, or reputation, or all kinds of social achievements, basically. And this is a time when you might be extremely inspired. You may feel extremely devoted, emotionally connected to the things that you are working. Very inspired. You may improve your relationship with people who have more power, or people that you work together with, or you have business with, or even clients in some cases. So inspiration in your work, in your career, experiencing joy and connection with others, and doing something which will also help other people. All of those things may really make you feel better. And while you're helping someone else, you may notice that you are also helping yourself. And keep in mind that all of the things which happen in your 10th house are meant to be shared with others. They are visible to others. So do something meaningful, help someone else through your work, or someone at your workplace, or sometimes even an authority figure. And be compassionate. This may really open up new opportunities for you. Okay, next we have Cancer, my dear friends. For Cancer, Jupiter turns retrograde in 6th house, which happens on Wednesday. Jupiter turning retrograde in 6th house, first of all, suggests that you need to focus on your work, your career, your responsibilities, and make some kind of reassessment, especially when it comes to your goals regarding this area of your life. You may realize that some of the things which you have planned during the last couple of months need to be changed in some way, or maybe some of your priorities will become different. Don't be afraid of that. This is a normal process, and actually it's something positive when we try to be flexible. I think that this is the most appropriate word, to be flexible when it comes to our goals and priorities. And you may realize that during the next couple of months, your priorities in terms of your work may shift. Things from the past might come back, or might be repeated, or may require a reassessment, or something to be fixed. Don't be afraid of that. This is a normal process, and it allows you also to complete some things which you have previously started, some goals that you might have had in terms of your work or business, or the care that you provide for other people. And now you may finish all of those things. You might complete them. You might basically have a final result when it comes to the things that you have previously started. So as being a Cancer, as being one of you, I'm really excited, and I think that this can be a very productive time also for learning new things, focusing on improving your skills when it comes to your work or the things that you want to achieve and your responsibilities. The same is true also when it comes to your health. It could be a time when you need to remind yourself which are your goals that you have about your health condition. For example, are you focused, are you committed to eating the things that you want, eating the right foods, or doing your exercises, or anything which supports you and helps you to be healthier. The conjunction between Venus and Neptune, which also is exact on Wednesday, will fall in your 9th house. A very, very romantic and inspiring position. 9th house is about wisdom, it's about knowledge, especially the philosophy, the spiritual understanding. And I think that, first of all, this combination can bring incredible fulfillment and also a deeper understanding. You might be literally inspired by something invisible, something which you may not be able actually to explain verbally, but you can feel it. You may feel extremely romantic when it comes to your goals, your future expectations. This is also a great position for artists, by the way. People who are interested in art history or creating something beautiful, something meaningful. This is a very, combination between beauty and healing. So nowadays there is also, art therapy, for example, and, things which include or combine those two things, which can be especially and extremely healing. So try some of those things and trust your intuition as well. You might be extremely inspired, extremely romantic when it comes to your dreams and goals. You may even be capable of visualizing and attracting and materializing some of your biggest dreams, some of your highest ideals, and it's extremely fulfilling. Especially if your sun or ascendant is around, let me check, so the 18th degree. The exact conjunction is 18 degrees in Pisces. So if your ascendant is somewhere between the 15th and the 20th degree in Cancer, it means that the beautiful conjunction will also make trine with your sun or ascendant. And this is even more powerful and more supportive. So overall, very, very nice combination for Cancer. Next we have Leo. For Leo, Jupiter turns retrograde in your 5th house, which happens on Wednesday. Jupiter retrograde in 5th house is not something that we should be scared of. This is something which we need to consider. And 5th house is about your creativity. It's about the things that you love, the things that you enjoy, the things that inspire you. It's about your deepest desires, your desire to live, your ability to enjoy life, including hobbies, entertainment, having fun, having parties. So this is a time actually to focus more and to ask yourself, are you truly in alignment with your deepest desires? Are you connected to your heart? Is your heart open and ready to receive the things that you want? Because trust me, I work with many people, and this is a very common case when people consciously want something. For example, when we talk about your 5th house, this could be you want to materialize love, or maybe you want to have a child, or maybe you want to be more creative. They want it consciously, but internally they are not ready to receive it. Their heart is not open. And it can be very frustrating, but Jupiter turning retrograde in your 5th house actually can allow you to connect deeper to your inner self and to realize what is it that you truly want, and are there any blocks which prevent you from attracting what you truly want. So focus on your heart, focus on your own desires, not the desires of someone else, not because society thinks that you should have a romantic relationship, but because you want it. Or you may realize that some of the things that you have wanted are no longer relevant to you, and that's completely okay. Again, the key word here is flexibility. So if you realize that some of your priorities have changed or some of your goals are changing, that's okay. Don't stick to old things because you are just used to them, and instead reconsider what you truly want. What does your heart want? What do you want in terms of love or relationships or creativity? And by the way, when we talk about creativity, Jupiter retrograde can actually allow you to be more creative internally, to improve your connection with the divine energy or whatever you believe in, where basically our inspiration comes from. So overall, very exciting, very interesting position. For some people, this may also be a period when old love might come back to your life, or you may reassess your previous love relationships or romantic interests or attractions. And you might be able also to complete or to get over some things from your past. So as you can see, we can always find something positive to focus on. Okay, the conjunction between Venus and Neptune, which also happens on Wednesday, the exact conjunction, will be in your 8th house. Very interesting, very exciting position. And first of all, this conjunction there can increase dramatically your sensitivity. Your sensitivity to feel what other people want, what they need, what does your partner want and need. Also, when it comes to sexual connection with other people, with your partner, this aspect may really help you to improve this connection, to feel, to make this type of connection also a spiritual one. So don't be afraid to experiment, don't be afraid to be vulnerable, to share your feelings. And through emotional connection, actually, you can improve also your physical connection with your partner. So sensitivity, sensuality also, on the other hand, attracting support, whether this would be an emotional support from your partner or sometimes even financial support or through some other resources. This is an aspect which can help you in this area. And also this aspect may bring you some kind of healing energy in your life, especially when it comes to some trauma or some bad experiences which you might have had in the past. It's a great time actually to let those things go. Just, leave them in the past, heal your soul, and, be more open to connect with people right now, to be present. All right, so next we have Virgo. For Virgo, Jupiter turns retrograde in your 4th house on Wednesday. So great time actually to focus more on your inner needs. 4th house represents, first of all, your roots, the desires of your soul, the connection with your soul as well. Also, it's related to your family, to your home, the place where you live. And Jupiter retrograde in 4th house actually may help you to reconsider some of your goals, some of your plans, which are personally important for you when it comes to home issues, sometimes even property issues, or the connection with family members, your parents, your relatives, or even people from previous generations as well. And this is a great time also when things from the past might be completed, might be finished. For example, if you have promised a family member that you will help them with something, or you will do something with them, or you will visit them, it's a great time to go back and to fulfill all of your promises. Keeping our promises is actually one of the really important things which allow us to attract the things that we want, to be more productive, basically so many things. So if you have promised something to your family members or relatives, go and do that. Also, you may realize that your priorities may shift. For example, you may want to go back to a place where you have lived before, or you may want to spend more time at home, to concentrate on your personal goals, on your spiritual growth and goals as well. So a very interesting position, which from one side can make you kind of more introverted, or spending more time at home, maybe working on your own goals, doing things which are not necessarily visible for others, but that's still great. And this is also kind of a preparation when you are asking yourself, what is it that you truly want in terms of this area of your life, to be honest about your real priorities, and eventually at some point you might be able to really materialize those goals or the things that you want in your life. On the other hand, the conjunction between Venus and Neptune for you will fall in 7th house, one of the really important houses in the horoscope. So first of all, we should remember that Venus rules 7th house. So Venus there is very, very powerful, very supportive for you. And this aspect can bring a very close emotional connection with your partner or with other people in general. Emotional understanding, to be more compassionate, to feel like, you know, someone else really cares about you. And always start with giving the things that you want to receive. As we know, that's a general spiritual rule. You always have to give first and act in the way that you want to be treated by others. So if you want to improve your relationships, if you want more passion, more romance, or deeper spiritual connection with someone else, be the first one who shows this. So be supportive towards other people, even if you don't have a partner. If you want to attract a partner, then find someone else who will be the subject to receive those, you know, support or even emotional connection or care. And in this way you are much more likely actually to attract the same things from other people. And remember that the universe is always watching us, and sometimes you can give here but you will receive from there, and in one way or another things are always right. So if you want more love, give more love to other people. Find someone who needs that, who needs support. If you have a relationship, also this can be a great time when you can take care of your partner. You may feel this deep, inspiring connection, this genuine, honest connection with the other person, and also the inspiration and the mutual understanding, the harmony in the relationship might be improved. So overall, this is one of the most romantic positions, actually, Venus, Neptune in your 7th house. Virgo are not considered to be romantics or, you know, really emotional people, which can vary for different people, of course. But this can be a great time actually for you guys to allow yourself to experience more feelings, to be more vulnerable, and to feel this deeper connection with another person. Okay, next we have Libra. For Libra, Jupiter will turn retrograde in your 3rd house, which happens on Wednesday. And this is a great time actually to focus more on your ideas, on your plans, the things that you, basically all kinds of ideas that you would like to materialize. And you may notice that during the next couple of months, you may reassess some of your priorities, some of the ideas that have been important to you, or some of the plans which you have made. Also, you may notice that ideas from the past might come back to your mind. You may have a new perspective about them, or you may realize that maybe some of them are no longer relevant to you, or you need to leave some of them in the past. But in one way or another, the focus is on your mind, your ideas, also your skills and knowledge. This is a very inspiring combination when it comes to knowledge, learning things, and this is more the, you know, internal process of not only learning something about, you know, getting all the details, the information, you know, the things that we receive from the outer world, which are necessary, of course, but there is also an important process of internalizing all of this information, or feeling this, or just, you know, understanding the meaning of all of that. So for people who are active learners, who, you know, are literally interested in improving certain skills or becoming better at certain activity, this can be a great time when you might be able to basically use all of this information to understand it better, and eventually to start applying it in a different way. Also, communication with other people, contact with friends or business partners or clients. This this transition of Jupiter, which will be retrograde, may allow you to restart some of the contacts which have been important for you. Friends from the past, classmates, sometimes even relatives. You may really benefit from this type of, relationships or connections. So if you're wondering whether you should contact people from the past, definitely go and do that. Now, the conjunction between Venus and Neptune. Venus and Neptune are in conjunction on Wednesday, and this will affect your 6th house. So the main area is about your work, your responsibilities, your business, and you may notice that you really want to help someone. You want to help someone through your work, through your care, maybe through your support. This is also an extremely healing energy. So if you have some kind of health issues, then I would definitely encourage you to ask yourself, what can be the emotional reason for this? And this is, by the way, one of the main topics which we are going to discuss during the 8-week course about the Bach flower essences and astrology. And I truly believe that this is so important. If you want to heal your physical body, first you have to heal your heart and your mind. And as you know, if you want more information, you can check it below the video. But even if you are not interested in this particular course, I would encourage you to find a way to heal your heart, to heal your emotions. For some people, this may happen through the Bach flowers. For others, this could be a homeopathy. For someone else, this could be a meditation practice or Reiki. Whatever the way, it doesn't really matter. But find the source, the reason for, your challenges, and heal the reason, not the symptoms, not the results, the negative results. And of course, this is also related to your work. This conjunction may help you to be more inspired, to be more creative when it comes to your work, to improve relationship with coworkers, with clients, with people that you have business with, and overall to feel emotionally more satisfied with your work, to enjoy, to feel more comfortable, to feel more relaxed and more inspired. So, as we can see, great combination. Okay, next we have Scorpio. Next we have Scorpio. For you guys, Jupiter will turn retrograde in your 2nd house. This happens on Wednesday. Jupiter retrograde in 2nd house, first of all, is not bad for your finances. So don't be afraid of that. Instead, this transition may help you to go back to the past and to realize, is there something that you can improve when it comes to your financial goals? Are there some kind of new priorities? Or is there something which you have started during the past, which now you may use it in your advantage to improve, your finances, or to have more stability in your life, to be more resourceful? But actually, 2nd house is about resourcefulness when it comes to money or energy or even your health or all kinds of personal belongings. And Jupiter turning retrograde in some way may also change the focus of your attention. For example, if you have been too focused only on external goals, to have this amount of money or to have something, like a personal belonging. Now with Jupiter retrograde, you may notice that your values are different, that you want something else which will truly bring you stability or will help you to feel resourceful. So important questions, and It doesn't mean that you shouldn't, spend money or you cannot earn more money, but in some way your priorities when it comes to feeling resourceful may shift. Also, your health is one of the important topics here, and specifically your energy, the amount of energy that you have. If you realize that maybe you're not taking good care of your body, this can be a great time actually to again ask yourself, which are the real priorities for you? Is it important for you to be healthy? Are you committed? Are you following through? Or maybe the things that you are doing are not in alignment with your goals. So again, the main question is to ask yourself the right questions, or basically to focus on your inner desires, the deepest goals that you have, the genuine goals, again, not what society wants from you, not what you have previously thought that you should want or you should achieve, but what is it that you want right now. On the other hand, the conjunction between Venus and Neptune, which by the way also is exact on Wednesday, for you guys will trigger your 5th house. Yeah, so a very, very romantic position, one of the extremely romantic positions, I would say. Venus in 5th house feels very comfortable because Venus is related to love, and 5th house is also related to love. So lots of love for you guys during next week, and also time to feel connected, to feel inspired. For artists, for people who want more creativity, this is a fantastic combination. Even if you're not an artist, even if you don't consider yourself a creative person, you may still benefit from enjoying the creative work of other people. Go to a museum, go to a concert, or read a romantic book. This may, help you to align yourself with this energy, and eventually you will attract more of it in your life. For some of you, this may also be a great time for falling in love, for experiencing this type of unconditional love and attraction towards someone else. Whether this would be your partner or your child or someone or something else, it's about the unconditional love. The love which helps you to feel connected with the one or with the universe or whatever, you feel is important to you. So very interesting, especially by the way, if you have your sun or ascendant between the 15th and the 20th degree. Because the exact conjunction between Venus and Neptune is on the 18th degree in Pisces. So if your sun or ascendant is between the 15th and the 20th degree in Scorpio, it also means that Venus and Neptune will make a trine with your sun or ascendant sign. And that's always more powerful and even more supportive. So if you're one of those lucky people, don't hesitate to use this energy to explore more options, to show your feelings, to reveal your attraction towards other people, and most importantly, to be good with other people. Treat them kindly and compassionately. Sagittarius, for you guys, of course, this will be an important week because the ruler of your sign, which by the way is also in Sagittarius, is turning retrograde. The exact the exact position of Jupiter is the 25th degree in Sagittarius. So if you have your sun or ascendant close to this degree, then this is a very, very important transition for you. So what it means actually to have Jupiter retrograde in 1st house. First of all, as I already said, this is not something bad. You shouldn't be afraid. You shouldn't consider it as, having Mercury retrograde. But this is the time when you need to ask yourself the right questions. It's time to be more connected to your inner and genuine goals. What do you want to achieve in terms of your personal growth? The question here is not so much about social results or achievements or what other people would appreciate or respect, or what is more about kind of the reputation part. This is not what Jupiter retrograde represents. Jupiter retrograde is about the inner goals, the goals that are important for you, maybe to become a better person, maybe to improve your skills in a particular area, or to gain some new qualities. But the focus is mostly on you. And I also think that this is a great time when you may receive wisdom which comes from inside of you. And more or less we all have this wisdom inside of us, but the problem is that very often we don't listen to it, especially if you're someone who lives mostly in the outer world. For example, you're extremely busy, you have so many goals, or you're an overachiever. You may find yourself sometimes not listening to your inner wisdom. And this isn't good, because it takes you away from your true nature, or from your higher self, if you will. And this Jupiter retrograde transit actually may help you to get back home, so to speak, to return to your inner truth, to find your inner wisdom or your inner connection with the spiritual world, or whatever is important to you. Even if you're not an extremely spiritual person, you may still ask yourself the question, what is it that you truly want? What type of goals do I have? And you may realize that some of the priorities are new, some of the things are no longer relevant, and that's completely okay, as long as you are flexible and you are making the right adjustments. But overall, for wisdom and inspiration which comes from inside, this can be a very, very supportive period for you guys. The conjunction between Venus and Neptune, which is also exact on Wednesday. For you, this conjunction affects 4th house, the house related to your home, to your family, the connection to your roots, the comfort of your home. These are the important topics. And yes, you might feel really comfortable at home. This conjunction may bring more mutual understanding with your relatives or other people who live together with you. Or even if you are single, if you live on your own, this is a great time actually to ask yourself what can help you to feel more comfortable, to feel more relaxed. And this is actually a great time for relaxation, for staying more at home, spending more time with family members, showing this unconditional love towards your family members or the relatives, even if they don't live together with you. Call your mother and tell her that you love her for no reason. I'm pretty sure that this will have such a significant impact, and very often we forget to do that. Sometimes it's not easy, I know, but especially if there were some kind of confrontations. Sometimes we argue with our relatives for no reason or for stupid things. Just, pick up the phone and tell them that you truly appreciate them. And you may notice that the other person is more likely to respond in the same way. And Venus with Neptune in 4th house actually can bring more harmony, can bring more balance, can bring back the peace to your home. And when I say to your home, first of all, it can literally mean your home and the relatives part, but also finding the inner peace inside of you. Feeling in alignment with your own desires, with your emotions. It's just an incredibly healing and positive, supportive combination. Next we have Capricorn. For Capricorn, Jupiter turns retrograde in 12th house. This event happens on Wednesday. So what does it mean? First of all, 12th house is not about practical or concrete or visible, measurable things. It's about our subconscious mind, about our emotions, about our past. And Jupiter retrograde in 12th house can really make us look back at certain experiences or certain period or certain relationships, and potentially we can solve some things from the past, or we may get a deeper understanding, like a wisdom which is enlightening us, or some kind of insights which come from nowhere. So I would highly encourage you to focus more on meditations or some spiritual practices which help you to relax the Mercury mind, this logical, analytical mind, and instead to open up for inspiration which comes from a higher dimension, possibly, or from within you. I think that some people would say that it's the same. Maybe it is really the same. And it's not about, using the right words or describing it in the right way, because it's about feeling. It's about, the internal process. So a very spiritual position for wisdom, for connection, and also feeling protected. This is a very popular belief that many astrologers have, that if you have Jupiter in your 12th house, you are supported by an angel or someone with very positive intentions. And if we apply the same thing when we talk about the transits, we can also imagine like we have this invisible protection. This can be the protection from God, from angels, maybe from relatives which are no longer around you, or the protection of your higher self. But try to feel it on an internal level. Try to strengthen this connection internally, and you may notice that you feel stronger, like someone behind you is supporting you, someone who is invisible. So overall, very spiritual, very connection which can bring wisdom and deeper understanding. And again, this can also be related to our goals, to our plans, which can be reassessed or readjust, or whatever needs to be changed about them. It will happen. On the other hand, we also have conjunction between Venus and Neptune also happening on Wednesday. This conjunction will trigger 3rd house for Capricorn. And this is a great position which can bring you more inspiration, like the inspirational ideas, or very positive or very warm connection with friends or with other people. Great time to create new friendships or to improve your friendships and connections with others as well. You may feel emotionally supported, or you may feel like you want to support your friends or to do something nice for them. Also, this is a great time for inspirational ideas, especially if you're writing something, or in any way you need this inspiration and you want to create something beautiful. This is a very, very nice position for you guys. The other thing which you can also do is enjoy traveling, some short trip. Sometimes this can just be a walk outside, walk in the nature, a forest, or in the mountain, or wherever you can. Sometimes it can be just going to the park, but feeling this connection with the nature can help you to find more peace and harmony within you, especially if you can find a source of water. This can be some kind of lake. If you're lucky enough to live next to the sea, then, or the ocean, go there. Use the water to heal yourself. It can heal your emotions, your mind as well. This combination can really calm your mind and help you to relax, whether this would be through meditations or visualizations or other techniques. There are so many, and we are so lucky actually that we have so many techniques that we can use. But this is really about relaxing your mind and finding inner peace in your mind and in your heart as well. So great time. Aquarius. For Aquarius, Jupiter turns retrograde in 11th house. This happens on Wednesday. And first of all, it means that you may need to reconsider some of your ideals, some of the things that you have truly believed in, some of the things that you have idealized in some way. In a way, this is also related to your long-term goals or expectations for the future as well. During the next couple of months, you may realize that you need to shift some of them. You may notice also that your current goals are not so much about external achievements. You may focus more on your personal goals or the things which are more related to improving yourself or your personal wisdom or finding your own truth, or those type of more abstract things, but which can also be extremely important as well. And also, this is a time when you may find support by friends or the community around you or other people in general. So overall, time to reconsider your ideas, your goals, maybe also how you connect to other people. Is there something that you want to change in terms of your connection with the outer world or with your friends or your community? And as we said, also focus on the internal goals. On the other hand, the conjunction between Venus and Neptune will affect your second house. And this also happens on Wednesday, which is, I would say, very interesting. Venus in your second house is very strong and powerful. As we know, Venus rules this house, so it can be extremely beneficial for you guys, especially when it comes to finances. You may receive some kind of financial support, or maybe you may have a new idea how you can earn more money. And here I think that first of all, the right approach is to find out how you can help other people. If you find a way to help others, this may really also bring you the needed reward, or the reward that you truly deserve. And there is nothing wrong with monetizing your efforts, of course. So great time to receive this financial abundance and support, and also generally to focus on materializing this inspiration. Venus and Neptune is an extremely inspiring combination, and you might be capable of actually materializing those beautiful or romantic ideas that you have, or your desire to help other people, especially if you have some kind of financial issues. One of the things I would recommend you is to give money for charity. Even if you don't have, give as much as you can. Of course, we don't talk about, taking money from others or like taking a credit from the bank, but give something for charity, whatever you can. Here the gesture is more important, and you may realize that in another way, sometimes in unexplainable ways, it returns back to you. Okay, and finally we have Pisces. For you guys, Jupiter turns retrograde in your 10th house, and this is very important. 10th house is about your career, your social achievements, your most visible results. And this is time to ask yourself, what are your deepest and most genuine goals and desires when it comes to your work? Is there something that needs to be readjusted or changed in some way? And ask yourself, find these answers inside of you. Don't ask other people, don't try to do what is socially appreciated or accepted, because sometimes it doesn't bring us happiness, it doesn't bring us the needed fulfillment. So ask yourself, what is it that you truly want when it comes to your work? And find this inner inspiration. Sometimes, actually, this is a quite common challenge. Sometimes people don't feel inspired, or they say, I don't have enough motivation. How to find my motivation? And the truth is that it is within you. You don't have to search it outside. The right approach is, how can I get rid of the blockages which are preventing me from connecting to my inspiration or motivation? But the right assumption is that what you are searching for is already within you, and what you need to do is just get rid of the blockages. Not, to go outside or to think that you have to create it, you have to invent it, literally. No, it's already inside of you. Just find the right ways to get out of the limitations or the blockages or whatever is, the problem. And this can be a major shift, first of all, in your way of thinking, and how you approach life in general, especially in terms of your career, and also time to reconsider some of those goals, or maybe finding this inner motivation or inner desire to achieve certain things, maybe to be better at your career or to help more people through your work. But the retrograde planets, as I already said it many times, are working internally. So what are your inner goals, genuine goals and desires? And also, is there potentially something that you need to shift about your belief system, about things that you think are possible to be achieved in your work? But also, another thing which you can expect is that things from the past might be repeated or might come back, especially when it comes to some business projects or business ideas, or support from other people who have more power. Especially if you have had a connection or relationship in the past, those things can be restarted as well. The other very important event, especially for Pisces, is that Venus and Neptune will be together on Wednesday. The exact conjunction is on Wednesday, the 18th degree. So first of all, if you are one of those lucky guys who have their sun or ascendant between the 15th and the 20th degree, this is gonna be an extremely important week for you. And you may feel so much more sensitive, more tender, more gentle to others, emotionally open and willing to connect to others, and inspired and supported and capable of healing things which are important to you, starting from your heart and your emotions, of course, but also to work more on your femininity, for example, or how you can be kinder, how you can be more polite with others. This can bring you incredible fulfillment. Also, falling in love with another person, with what you are doing, with your hobbies or certain project. This is just fantastic combination. So I really hope that you would do something nice also for yourself. This conjunction can be great for working with self-love, and this is also one of the really common issues that people have, that they don't accept and they don't love themselves. And I won't dive deep into this topic because we can talk it for weeks probably about the importance of self-love. I think that we all on certain level know how important it is, but sometimes we don't pay enough attention. And there are things that you can do. There are some techniques, approaches, even meditations which you can do to improve your connection with yourself and to start accepting and literally loving yourself. There is nothing wrong with that, and it's not selfish. It's the most natural thing, actually, and the thing which can bring the biggest and most dramatic change in your life. So I hope that you guys will pay attention to this wonderful window of opportunity, which is literally bringing you love. And again, I repeat, this is the unconditional love the deepest, most genuine, most spiritual love. Okay, so now that we are over, let me make a quick water break. These are some long talks, guys, so yeah, sometimes I just need a little water. So let's start with the daily horoscopes for the week and discuss which are the most important influences that we should consider. Keep in mind again that we have timestamps in the description below, so you can always come back and check the video for certain day of the week, or to remind yourself about something, or whatever you want to do. You are always welcome to come back here. So the 8th of April, Monday, we have the transit moon in Taurus until 4 p.m. Eastern time. So overall the energy is calm, more relaxed, more stable. Great time for achieving some stable results, working on something practical, something which requires more patience, and also for feeling more grounded, feeling this connection to the earth. Early morning, actually, the moon will make trine with Pluto. And this is also an extremely empowering combination, which we can feel almost during the whole day as well. This is the aspect which can help you also to transform something, or to be extremely focused and concentrated and brave and even passionate about something. So overall, for work, for achieving stable results, this looks like a very positive day. And after 4 p.m. the moon enters Gemini, which may bring more variety, more excitement around us. We may notice that intellectually we are more active, some new ideas might come up, we may have a stronger desire to communicate with others, to connect with people, to have some new contacts. So there is a shift after 4 p.m. Eastern time, but overall the day is positive with no stressful energies. The 9th of April, Tuesday. The transit moon will remain in Gemini during the whole day, so the mind can be very active and productive. You may have new ideas, you may focus on different things. Sometimes, as we know, the challenge is that we may lose a little bit our focus, but some people handle very well with that, and they can do, many things at the same time, multitasking and, so on. Also for connection with other people, creating new contacts, all kinds of intellectual work, as we said. And we need to know also that the moon will make conjunction with Mars there. Now, this is a specific combination. So from one side, potentially it can bring confrontations, or people can be more impatient, or sometimes there might be more verbal aggression. But at the same time, this aspect can make us extremely motivated, extremely brave, and willing to do something. Sometimes this can be just, competing with others and doing our best to show, how much we can achieve. But in one way or another, this is a dynamic, active, masculine energy. The 10th of April, Wednesday. This is the most interesting day during the whole week, because we have many things going on. First of all, Jupiter turns retrograde. Jupiter will be on the 25th degree in Sagittarius. And we already talked about it, so make sure to listen to your sun and ascendant sign in order to understand how this can affect you. You can find the links and the timestamps below the video. The other event which also happens today is the conjunction between Venus and Neptune, and that we discussed as well. So the same links are relevant for this interpretation. But overall, we can say that this is a very romantic, very sensitive, very healing combination. Some other things that are happening during this day. One challenging aspect. So the first challenging aspect for this week, it's a square between the Sun and Saturn. And yes, this is an aspect which potentially can bring some kind of blocks, or we may feel like there are certain limitations, or we need to work extremely hard on something. Sometimes we may feel like also we have certain fears, or we are not so confident what we can achieve or how other people will respond, and that's okay. Keep in mind that if you are hardworking and consistent and patient, and most importantly you are doing the right things, Saturn will reward you. And the difficult aspect, the square aspect, just represents that you need to make an effort in order to achieve what you want. It doesn't mean that you can't achieve things, or like there are some kind of real limitations like which make it impossible. Yes, we need to adapt to some kind of rules potentially, or sometimes even concrete obstacles, but through work and doing the right thing, Saturn can reward us eventually. And the last aspect for Wednesday is the sextile between Mercury and Pluto. Great aspect for intellectual work. You may notice that your mind, first of all, has deeper understanding about certain things, about motivation of other people. Also for some kind of research or things which require investigating something or finding the right details, the right information. This is a beautiful aspect. Also, it can increase your intuition, and sometimes you may feel certain things without the real evidences for your ideas, for example. So very powerful aspect. Actually, the right thing to say is empowerment of the mind. So yeah, great combination. And also the moon is in Gemini during Wednesday, so great intellectual activity, great for contacts, for communication, for learning new things, and overall connections with others. The 11th of April, Thursday, we have a square between Mercury and Jupiter during this day. Very interesting aspect when it comes to knowledge and information and all kinds of plans and goals. This aspect may require from us to be more careful when it comes to defining our priorities. Sometimes it happens that we pay more attention than necessary on small things and we exaggerate them. And also it's possible that we may underestimate other things which are actually important. So here it's important to put conscious efforts to realize what is required from you, because the square aspect requires effort. But even the square aspect actually can be great for learning new things, putting efforts to learn new things and to change something about your plans, your goals, and your ideals. The transit moon also is in Cancer during this day on Thursday. So you may notice that you are more emotional, you are more sensitive, family issues might be important, or just it might be a great time to relax and stay at home and feel comfortable there. The 12th of April, Friday, we have a beautiful aspect between Venus and Saturn. We have a sextile. This aspect is very positive for feeling more stability and security when it comes to romantic stuff or feelings or relationships. You may find also that this period is great for business relationships, business negotiations and partnerships. And also you are more capable of controlling your emotions. You are more reasonable, you are not so impulsive. You may evaluate things properly, because those two planets, Venus and Saturn, they are important for how we evaluate things, how we judge things. Are we judging things correctly? And yes, on Friday we might be able to evaluate things correctly. The other aspect that we have during Friday is a square and a half between Mars and Pluto. Minor challenging aspect, which may bring some kind of possible confrontations or power struggles in some cases. But on the positive side, the aspect can be very empowering and also can make you very passionate about doing something, fighting for something, overcoming, something, or even confronting with someone because you have this goal which is very important to you. So lots of passion and intense energy, sometimes desire to compete with others. Sometimes, this can bring possible aggression as well, but as we know, it always depends on how we use the energies of the planets. The moon will also be in Cancer during the whole day, so the emotionality is increased, the sensitivity, people can feel more vulnerable, more compassionate, and also this is great for staying at home or spending time with your family and just enjoying the comfort of your home. On Saturday, the 13th of April, we have a square between the Sun and Pluto, a very powerful combination, which from one side can help you to be extremely willing to achieve something, extremely motivated, to feel stronger, to feel like, you can move mountains to get what you want. But keep in mind that also there is usually some kind of confrontation. Especially if you are part of some kind of group of people, you may feel like you are single, like others are not supporting you, like you have to stand up against someone else to defend your position or your ideals or whatever you want to do. But as we said, on another level, this is extremely empowering and can bring extreme passion. This is actually the key combination, extreme and passion. For the squares, when we have Pluto, this is the general interpretation that we have. Interestingly enough, also the moon will be in Leo, which is also very passionate sign. And this combination from one side can make us dramatize things a little bit or sometimes more. So make sure to try to be, as objective as you can. And even if you experience this passion or this extreme motivation, after all, be careful how you treat other people. On the other hand, the moon in Leo is great for entertainment, for just enjoying life, for going to a party or doing something creative, doing something on your own, and listening to your heart as well. And we have Sunday, the 14th of April, the last day of the week, with one of the most positive aspects. Actually, we have a trine between the Sun and Jupiter, one of the luckiest combinations. So this is a great time for some new goals, for some new plans, for feeling more inspiration or receiving support from other people, or just feeling lucky, feeling happy in your life. So very, very beautiful aspect. Also, another positive aspect that we have on Wednesday is the sextile between Venus and Pluto. It can make us very passionate, it can bring very deep feelings and connection with others or desire to do something. So lots of passion on Wednesday. And on top of that, also the transit moon will be in Leo, a very passionate, very intense sign. So focus on your desires, on doing the things that you love, listen to your heart. Wednesday is really one of the most beautiful days, maybe the most positive day during the whole week. Only positive aspects, one of the luckiest combinations. So do something nice for you or for other people today. So that's the general forecast for next week. Very exciting, very interesting week. Also, let me remind you again that we start with our 8-week course on the Bach flower remedies and astrology. All of the information is in the link below the video. And if you want more inspiration, you can also check my other YouTube channel, which is mostly about personal development. I will put this link below the video as well. So thank you very much for joining me. Remember that you can always come back and check the part which you are interested in, and you have the daily horoscopes, you have the signs predictions. And I would be very happy to hear from you guys. Are you inspired? Is there something concrete that you want to achieve during this week? How do you feel about Venus Neptune? Because I am extremely excited for this aspect. Thank you very much again, and I'll see you very soon.